I had like subpar hearing before they got mangled from grappling.
You think it makes it worse?
This one especially because I really don't have any ear canal left. But because like the folds of your ear actually catch sound.
Yeah.
That's like a functional thing.
Yeah, like brings it in.
Yeah, so now I have to be talking directly at you, and when you speak back,
You got to turn your head.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
That's funny. Here, try to keep the mic like maybe like a fist distance or so from.
Does that work?
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah,
oh
wow.
my God. This is sensual.
Yeah. Soon enough, you're gonna need to be like that governor and carry around the real-time transcriber.
For sure.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Like the new Ray-Ban glasses, have you seen those where they'll translate other languages right in front of you?
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The glasses from Meta.
Yeah, there was those, and then Instagram ads popping up constantly.
Yeah.
There's like some other company that's doing headphones that do that too.
Translate languages in real time.
Yeah.
Wow.
As soon as it's coming out of your mouth, it's already translated in your ear, and you can respond back.
Wow, interesting. So it gives you like if you're speaking Chinese and you say it to me, it'll say it back in English, or it says it.
I don't know if they speak back or not, but like the ad shows like a guy and his girl driving in a car. He says something in Spanish, and then she like hears him immediately.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
She was able to respond like in the same amount of time as like you and me having a conversation.
Wow, how interesting.
Pretty wild.
Wow, that's the Meta glasses or the headphones?
That was the headphones.
Wow. The future's getting crazy.
Technology, man.
I've already seen the first POV fight in those Meta glasses.
Oh, isn't that so sick, bro? It's like, I want to be that close to the violence.
It was literally, I was like, how is he recording this? I thought he was wearing just like a chest GoPro or something, because the POV was like, is his view. And then I saw a second angle and he was just wearing normal glasses, it looked like.
Yeah, they kind of look like standard construction safety glasses with the clear lenses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Similar. Although I think the Ray-Bans one look not so bad. Oh, I'm sorry. What a dick. Silence your phone, all right? This is important.
I invite you. Takes 6 months, and this is how you pay me back.
We're now getting more views than the Joe Rogan Experience, so it's very rude to be doing this.
Yeah. Liquid Death, the official, not a sponsor of No
Official.
Credentials.
Do you want one of these?
Hell yeah.
It's Killer Cola. They're not very good, actually.
No.
I just tried it, and you tell me what you think.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, there's room.
I bought them, though, so I give them the guess now.
Yeah.
Hey, you want my shitty drinks? I'll only drink them.
There's definitely room for improvement, without a doubt.
It is, for sure. That's what they get for not actually being an official sponsor of the podcast. Now I just trash them.
Liquid Death. Step your game up.
Step your game up. Yeah, no, that would be cool. To be sponsored by Liquid Death, but it's kind of their fault. They didn't sponsor me, and now I just come on and spend an hour and a half talking shit about their products.
I love it.
It tastes like a flat Coke.
Yeah, it does. Almost like a cherry flat Coke.
Yeah, I would say so. Like a cherry flat.
It's not the worst, though.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not great, though. I do like the normal waters.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I have the sparkling water in my cup. I love that.
The sparkling, like Liquid Death?
Yeah, the black can.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I do like sparkling water, too.
I never used to. And then I struggle with addiction issues real bad. And my go-to thing was all the hard seltzers. So after I
you were addicted to White Claws? Fucking Scottsdale girl.
Yeah. It was Topo Chicos, but same difference.
Topo Chicos, really? That was your jam?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd smash them by the 12-pack, dude.
Really?
Yeah, on a Monday.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. So, and so to
the carbonation just kind of like curves that part of it, and then I don't know, all of a sudden I'm just into drinking them.
Wow, nice.
Never would have thought.
A lot healthier than the alcoholic Topo Chicos.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Wow. So you'd smash a 12er just day to day?
Yeah.
Was that your thing? Was like alcohol?
alcohol was like kind of like the minor one. Drugs was definitely really bad for a long time.
Really? Because you've been sober for a couple years now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many years? You're like 7 days.
Yeah, like around 2.
2 years? Wow. Well, good for you, brother. That's great.
Yeah, I'd have a lot of periods of sobriety, and then I don't know, anywhere from 9 months to like a year would go by, and then I'd relapse. But this time around, I don't really know my sober date, so to speak, and so most of the time when people ask me, I'm like, I'm sober today, and that's like, I don't know, that's what's kept me on track, and because for me, like I know it works for a lot of people, but for me, if I would keep in mind my sobriety date, although it's a positive thing, it would be like that, lingering thing in your head, like, is that going to change today or whatever? So like the way I look at things now is I just put it behind me.
Wow. And then also too, it's like maybe gets to the point where it's like, it's been 2 years, it's been, 9 months, like I've done good. I can, have a little break.
Yeah, it's I like to say it is I struggle with sobriety.
Yeah.
Like
the addiction is easy.
The addiction part is easy. I can go off on a bender right now. It'd be no problem at all,
Yeah.
But the sobriety thing is because, like, I don't know if you've ever like had someone in your life, but the self-sabotage thing is like one popular topic of addiction. And it's always like the first time I ever got sober, I went to rehab, did the whole thing, and when I got out, I was like, I'm feeling way too damn good. Let's fuck this all over, And it sucks, but like I look back at my life and, with sports, I would have that mentality. Like one thing would go wrong, it's like, fuck it all, I just want to toss everything away.
Yeah.
And when I was like in the midst of my issues, it's like, well, I'm already this deep. Let's just keep going,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good though that like that part of my life is behind me.
Yeah. It's definitely easy to compound in like a negative way. To like get like compounding positive just takes like a daily grind.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you fuck up and then going downwards, like the downward spiral is super easy just because it's like you can just get more and more. So what was your thing with drugs? Was there like a specific drug that was your go-to?
Any of them that got you high.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, meth and coke were the big ones for sure. But yeah, I tried a bit of everything. Pain pills by the handful.
Yeah.
Drown that out with alcohol, and then I'd have to come back up again, and then I'd go back down again.
A little blow in the morning to get you going.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. At my worst point, my addiction cost me roughly like $1,800 a week.
Whoa. Huh. Yeah. Just in drugs. Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I used to. It's crazy shit. Wells Fargo, after you've like banked with them for a really long time, they kind of like push back their overdraft policies. So like I would know like how much I needed for the week to like get me by, so to speak. And I would know roughly how much my paycheck was going to be. So 2 days before, I would withdraw the amount and put me that amount past zero. And then when my paycheck would clear, that would just get me back to zero again, basically.
Wow. And they would waive the overdraft fee because it was close?
Yeah, because I timed it out perfectly.
Wow.
Dude, it was like a science.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, like, when you're completely submerged into that lifestyle that, like, I didn't notice all of it until I was past it and I was looking back at it. You don't feel that when you're in here. It doesn't seem like that shit's a
like
problem.
You're putting this insane amount of effort just to fucking manage a dollar.
Yeah, it's like, why can't I just do that in a positive way? You know, for my life. Make contributions to my life that push me forward with that much effort rather than like drowning my life into never-ending hole.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. And there's definitely positive addictions too, like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I would say, like, well, I'm sure like you witnessed firsthand when I first started. I would say for like the first 8 months, dude, I was 7 days a week, 5 out of the 7 days a week. I was twice a day.
Yeah.
And like I really formed that habitual addiction in a positive manner.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's done so much good shit for me.
Wow. Huh.
You know?
And then the universe is like torn ACL.
Yeah.
Like, how addicted are you, bitch? Are you going to keep doing this?
You know what the shittiest part of that situation was is nothing against Naga. It's just they're kind of a loose program, right, when it comes to rule sets, especially like I don't think it would be much of an issue now, right, in the blue belt division or as you continue to go up. But like white belts at Naga is like the most terrifying thing in the world. And, you know, I compete, I think they do 185 for Naga.
Yeah.
So like when I compete in that division, dude, I'm at like such a size disadvantage. And I think the shortest guy in the division aside from me was still like 4 or 5 inches taller than me. So
why'd you do that? What's the one below it, like 170?
Yeah.
It was like a big gap?
Yeah. Yeah. And
so you got a big motherfucker that's spazzing.
Yeah, he was I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", roughly, and he jumped a guillotine and didn't even make it close to my waist. He made it like below the knee. But the moral of the story was on the way to the event, we got halfway there, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, I probably shouldn't do this today. And really? I just told him, like, in my head, I'm having this whole conversation. I'm like, quit being a pussy, just go do it.
Yeah.
And then, that was the second match of the day. And I did 6 total. It was cool though, because
you did 4 matches after that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, technically 3, because I had to crawl off the map. I went and reset my leg because my knee was dislocated.
Whoa.
My last match in the no-gi division, I was blessed with a walkover. So I got 3rd due to that. And
at least you got a 3rd place Naga medal.
Yeah.
Now that makes it worth it.
Yeah.
That's like worth the torn ACL.
Well, then I had a little bit of time to rest and like get my shit together, and then I got 3rd in the gi also.
Oh, nice.
So
wow.
I went home with double bronze after a catastrophic injury. So I was like, I don't know if they were really worth my leg, but you know.
Fuck, that sucks.
Whatever.
It's one of the challenges like at white belt in general, especially in competition, even in the gym. Like sometimes you'll go against someone who's brand new and they're just fucking spazzing like crazy. They're gonna do some non-jujitsu technique that's gonna fuck you up. Yeah. And then in competition, it's like, I gotta win this $13 medal. So now it's fucking even more serious.
You can tell me what you think about this, but especially when it comes to competition, I feel like the white belt division can have a skill difference that's like almost bigger than like blue to black sometimes, because you could have the most athletic dude that wrestled his whole life, and he's only a white belt by default, and then you have some dude that's never done a sport in his life, and then they're competing against each other.
Absolutely. That could be true for sure. In John Lombardi's first tournament, like he was like in the 30 or minus division, and one of his people was, or 2 of his guys were wrestlers. Like one of them wrestled in high school. The other guy wrestled all 4 years of college.
You like, called him out on it.
I was like, dude, you're not a fucking white belt. You've been grappling your entire life. You know, if you wrestled all 4 years of college, that means you did it throughout high school too. What do you've got 8-10 years of grappling experience? Why are you signing up for a white belt division?
You're a brown belt in wrestling, and then you're just going to grappling.
You've been grappling longer than I have. You're fucking signing up for the white belt division.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. That could definitely be the case for sure.
Yeah. It's wild. But turning onto another page though, like when I went, I did my first blue belt comp at the same time Brent did his first black belt comp.
Wow.
And it was so weird because like white belt is so spazzy. They grip onto you like, you know, they're hanging on for dear life. And then the first guy I competed against, I just like walked across the mats and I was like, okay, I want to call her sleeve grip. And I just reached out, grabbed it, and he was like, okay. And I'm like, what the fuck? Such a weird turn of events. Yeah. And then like when we got into exchanges and everything, I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a lot calmer, but it's definitely more strategic, more technical. Like it was, I felt a major difference.
That's good.
And I got to go up into the Masters 1 division too.
Nice.
So I'm
that's
sure
cool
that
too.
makes a difference.
For sure. Yeah. I think probably by blue belt level, you're actually doing jujitsu. When like in white belt level, sometimes, you know, people with 2 months experience, 3 months experience are going out there and maybe they've never competed in anything, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe they think they're going to be the next fucking UFC star and like earn their highlight reel at this Naga.
Yeah. It's funny like how people will like go and try to make a highlight reel or whatever, but it's like, I remember my first comp, Jiu-Jitsu World League, as a white belt. The kid who won my division got a flying armbar.
Wow.
In the white belt division. And it was clean, too.
It was a good one?
Yeah.
Nice.
He landed into an armbar while the guy was still standing. It wasn't, like, super sloppy or anything.
Wow.
And I'm like, see, like, that shit's just going to happen on its own. You're not going to go force a highlight.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Well, that's the thing, too. That's, like, how you create a highlight. You just go do your best jiu-jitsu, and fucking shit happens, and then you got some sick videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of the, like, white belts competing, the last Naga that I went to, there was this guy in the fucking novice division of, like, I don't know. It was an adults novice division. And this guy had an Americana on him that he was just refusing to tap to. And like it was going and going and going. And like the guy's just getting deeper and deeper, his whole body into it. Eventually the guy's coach is like, tap, 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 give it up, tap. About 15 seconds after that, like he just was not letting it go. Like spiral fracture, like in between the shoulder and the elbow, just spun right off. And so now he just like he spent 40 minutes on the mat. Fucking, they carried him off in a stretcher. It's like a year-long injury probably, but before that heals, before he's ever training again, all for the fucking white belt division of a Naga tournament.
Yeah. It's funny you say that too. I just watched a clip this morning. Craig Jones talking, and I guess he went to like Eastern Europe, or something.
Broke a bunch of legs.
Yeah. And he goes, you know, like they think they're gonna earn a spot in CJI by like submitting me.
Yeah.
And he goes like, why?
Yeah.
You know what is it gonna do for you? If I have a submission, just tap.
Yeah, exactly. It's also just very rude for, in general, someone's coming to teach a seminar and you to fucking go ham on them afterwards. Just have a flow roll. It's okay. They're traveling. Like he said, he's like, I'm jet lagged. I've been traveling. I'm on little sleep. You're coming to fucking, why are you trying to hurt me?
Yeah.
You know? Or like sometimes older grapplers will come and, you know, they're like 40s, 50s. They'll like teach a seminar. You're 22-year-old fucking blue belt. You don't have to prove yourself on him. You know?
There's nothing to prove.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
exactly. Just, you know, be appreciative for the techniques and move on.
Yeah. You know, like I never feel myself, especially in practice, like trying super, super hard as far as like, you know, I'm going to go armbar everybody today.
Yeah.
Like, I think rolling like in practice and drilling all that is your time to be experimental. Yeah. Like, you know, like how many things I've tried while we're just practice rolling. Yeah. That turns around and ends up me being submitted. But I was like, okay, well now I know what to do different. And it just evolves from there. And I think people hold themselves back so much by like just having that chip
trying to just win every round. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, training should be about skill development. You're coming to build skills, and that doesn't always happen by going 100%. Yeah. Now, it is useful to have those 100% rounds too. Yeah. Especially like you're trying to compete. It's useful to have those like super high intensity rounds. Yeah. And so it's good to work that in, but it all depends on like your total goals. Like if you're trying to fucking, you know, do 80cc trials this year, you better be doing tons of, you know, really high intensity rolls. If you're just trying to get better at jiu-jitsu, then maybe it's not fucking, juice is not worth the squeeze.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. Just have some fun, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say the last time that you and me rolled together cracked me up because I don't know if you remember, we were doing Shark Tank, and I started in a top side control.
Okay.
And I tried to paper cutter you.
Oh,
you
nice.
go, you want to see that submission you were trying to do? And then you turn around and send it right back to me. But like, I love that, bro. Because it's so humbling, and like, by having it done to me, like, it shows me a little bit better, like, how the mechanics work and everything else,
Exactly.
I still don't know, like, what I'm doing wrong with paper cutters, but I've been trying them like crazy.
Wow, we'll go over them. That used to be one of my go-to techniques, actually. The very first tournament I ever did, I hit 2 of them, like the baseball bat chokes.
Yeah, Jeff Albrecht from Anthem.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I went to one of his classes, I would say it's like 3 months ago, and he showed a really, really sneaky way to like slide the bottom arm in. And so ever since he's taught that, it's made so much more sense, and I can find that a lot more often. But the finishing aspect of it is killing me. So,
Well, you just got to build your way up. You know, start on white belts and then just slowly fucking work your way up.
Yeah.
That's what Eddie... that's what Eddie Bravo used to say is like, you don't get good at jiu-jitsu by going against black belts all the time.
Yeah.
You get good at jiu-jitsu by strangling blue belts. Because they're doing jiu-jitsu. They're doing like mostly correct things, but like there's still big gaps. And so like there's a lot to work on, like a lot to develop your technique. So, it's good. It's very useful to go against new people and just work your new stuff. That's how you like kind of get the basics against a live resisting opponent. And then you just work up from there.
Yeah, that's what Brent explained, that his like, from my perspective, if I'm trying something, he's like, blue belt's the best way to go because they're not going to let anything slide by if it's not mechanically correct.
Yeah.
And it's like a good like checks and balances system. So once it works, then that's like how you build your way up.
I got to move it up.
It's like, I'm glad I'm the guinea pig.
Exactly.
It's cool though.
You know what, like on that point, and also like with the spazzy people again, one thing that I actually really do enjoy is extremely athletic, strong, like spazzy white belt. Because I do think that it's like a real life test of jiu-jitsu.
100%.
When someone's attacking you and they don't really know anything, but they're really fucking giving it their all.
Yeah.
I do kind of like that feel.
Yeah.
It's just important to keep yourself safe.
Yeah. Yep. Guys that are, Wade.
At our gym.
Dude, that dude is a freaking athlete.
Yeah.
Like that.
He's also big too.
Yeah. He's jacked, right? But it's like now that he's training more and more and like he's progressing and everything, like that dude's gonna be a unit.
Yeah.
Right? But like right out the gate, like it's hard to believe that like if he walked into a room and Luke walked into a room,
that like, Luke is gonna whoop him.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Or like Randy that was training with us for a while, like a D1 alpha, like really physically huge person. Yeah, it is great, like tossing those people around at first.
Yeah.
It just sucks the better they get.
Yeah.
The longer they stay. We had this one guy, I don't know if you were training with us yet, but he was a blue belt, but like a 6'2", 230, 235 pounds of just straight muscle. His name is Jack. And
I don't think I met him.
He'd been wrestling for like 10 years or more, like a very good wrestler. And I'd always say he's the fucking toughest roll in Arizona because he's a black belt in wrestling and knows like a good amount of jiu-jitsu, and he's extremely strong and athletic. Yeah, and like those type of people are fucking tough to deal with. Yeah. Like size does matter in jiu-jitsu.
It really does.
Yeah, it does for sure. Like if you have zero skill, then it matters less. But if you've got a lot of skill and a lot of size, it'll
compensate for a lot.
Yeah, it does for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it sucks because like especially like when I go against like a more advanced heavyweight or something like that, my whole goal is to not end up on the bottom. if I end up on the bottom, we're starting over again.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
every time.
Yeah, I used to say like, all right, I'll try to work my guard against this bigger person. Like, no fucking way. I'm not letting Freddie get on top of me. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, my favorite thing with Freddie is like when he gets like mount or a back take or something. Yeah. You know, I'm like, got you right where I want you. I just know I'm about to die an insufferable death.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, like Freddie's like a good 400 pounds. You know, so if he just gets in side control on you, that's a fucking lot.
And he moves.
He moves well. He's athletic. Yeah. He is athletic.
He's like one end of the spectrum of like being underestimated, but it's like
usually someone that size is not athletic.
No,
he's extremely athletic. We played basketball one time. He's hitting spin moves. He's tossing it behind his neck. Like,
that's so fucking rad. I love it.
It's like, what the hell? Yeah, I think that was the first time I realized. I'm like, oh, this guy's an actual athlete.
Yeah, even when I watch you guys play in that game with the football.
Oh yeah. Devil Ball. Yeah, he's a top pick because he's an athlete. He's pretty good.
That fool could like essentially be a wide receiver. Like,
today. Exactly. Yeah, if he slimmed down more, I bet you if he was like his goal body weight, which is probably like 200 pounds, like for his frame, maybe 220 or something. Yeah. He probably would have like a 40-inch vertical.
Freddie at like 225 solid would be the most terrifying character on Earth.
Would. Yeah, really. It would. Yeah. I wish he would lose some weight. He was just really for my own personal. I don't want to get him in side control. I'd rather deal with a 225 Freddie than a 400 Freddie. But I was giving him shit the other day because they started like a documentary of like his weight loss journey.
Oh really?
Yeah, they did for a while, and like we were measuring his weight like I want to say almost every day, or it was either every day or every week. And if he gained weight, he would have to do 15 burpees or 10 or 15 burpees per pound. So if he went up, in like 5 pounds, it was 10. If he went up 5 pounds, it'd be 50 burpees.
Yeah.
And we were doing that for a while, and he was making good progress. But then he hurt his knee, and then so they just haven't done it. So I was giving him shit. I was like, "You started that documentary. The first 3 seasons, are you just going to be gaining weight?"
Damn, bro, that's cold.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, he needs to get on like Ozempic or something. I love Freddie. He's the man.
We love you, Freddie.
Yeah, I love you, Freddie. He's the man. I told him he needs to get on his stomach. There's nothing I wouldn't say to him in person.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. That honestly is an addiction as well.
Yeah.
Food is an addiction for sure.
I struggle with that too.
Yeah.
It's like the ACL surgery killed me. I was very,
it's really test of will when that stuff happens.
I was very routine. I was going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to train. Mm-hmm. And then like, boom, 2 months. I'm just like doing nothing. I'd show up at practice, watch everyone.
Yeah.
And it was like, I still feel it hard for me to get back into the routine, even though like every ounce of me wants to do it, and then I'll go home and like pound 4 ice cream sandwiches and just like overindulge on food. I'm like, fucking stop, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, food's a challenge for me too. It's one of those things like it's a constant test of discipline. It's one of those things, it's necessary. You've got to do it every day. Yeah. It's like, imagine if like meth was a necessary part of life, like you needed it, but you could only do a little bit.
Monitoring that at such a minuscule level, right?
Yeah.
Food, even like when I was younger, I miss those days, right? I would smash like 10 hot dogs, fucking box of macaroni and cheese, all this shit, and then like pull my shirt up, perfect 6-pack.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I'm like, if I eat 1 gram of carbs too many, I'm like,
gain it a pound. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I used to do taco bowls for lunch, go home, fucking pound cereal. I'd have like Rice Krispie cereal, but pour like probably like literally an entire cup of sugar on it.
As if it needed it.
It's such a ridiculous amount of sugar. Like I wanted to taste the grain in it. Like I actually feel the sugar in my mouth when I do it. And then play football and just fucking maintain a 6-pack. It was great. I wonder if Freddie was ever like that. If he ever had like and it just went off the rails.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is tough. I mean, like I don't know. I think certain people are maybe predisposed to addiction. Like it's easier just to get like lost in something. Like I feel like I'm definitely like that as well. And I got to keep a lot of things in check. Like alcohol can like become too much for me. Like I just have a drink one time and then it's like I'm drinking every weekend and then I'll like start, I'll drink on a Thursday because it's almost the weekend.
Yeah.
And, it just becomes too much.
It's funny the excuses that we make up in our head, right?
Yeah.
For like whatever it might be. But we're such creatures of comfort.
Yeah.
Like I tell my family and all my friends all of the time, it's like we have created such a monster like of convenience. That's what like all of our issues stem from, right?
Everything's too easy.
Think about Amazon. Oh, you can order groceries, liquid death, like whatever you can think of, and by the time you're checked out, it's already at your door.
Yeah.
Like people don't have to leave their house anymore if you really don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like QT. Now you know how they would go through and Zamboni the floors and all of that?
Yeah.
They have an automated one now.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It's like we've created a society to like be comfortable and not settle for anything less.
Yeah. Right? And then our fucking dumb reptilian brains like are used to fighting for food with a spear. And we're like, we need to struggle for something. We got to do something in here. I do kind of think that's what it is like we strive or need something to be difficult in our lives. Like we need something to struggle with. So I feel like that's why jiu-jitsu is great. Voluntary struggles, like work pursuits are great. Like something like where you're trying to build and create something new for your day-to-day job, which is pretty sick. Like you just started your own company.
Yep.
Right? The excavation thing. So what like prompted that? I know you'd been just doing stuff on like kind of on your own for a bit, but like this is like your company, like your own thing.
Yeah. The company that I was working for, work was like really sporadic, and I was like, it was a struggle, right? I was like, basically, I had a nice little savings at first, and I was starting to have to dip into that, and then like there'd be a lot of days of one call for plumbing or no calls at all.
Yeah,
and I was like, my personal standpoint on business is, you got to do something that you can do subconsciously because the work aspect of it is like 10% of actually running and owning a business.
Yeah.
Right? Like getting my contractor's license, like trying to get verified on Google. It's been 3 months and I'm still unsuccessful at that because they've cracked down a lot on like having an actual physical business address that's not a house because of a lot of people just starting these phony companies. And
so you need a physical address to have a Google website?
You don't have to. You can do it out of your house, but it like, dude, I submitted my federal EIN letter. I submitted a picture of my contractor's license, my ID. I uploaded everything to Google and I still got rejected.
Wow.
Right? So
what are they rejecting you for?
Deceptive content.
Really?
Yes.
What the hell?
Yeah. I'm like, you literally know everything about me now, and it's still not enough.
Wow.
So, yeah, battling that every day, trying to get the phone to ring, you know, like all the shit that you don't think about that you have to pay for. Like, when I bought my excavator, they don't come with trailers, so that's a separate purchase. And then I was like, okay, well, I bought a trailer, and I'm like, fuck, I need chains and binders. Like, I can't even secure it right now. Well, the first chains and binders set I bought didn't even like coagulate with my trailer properly. So, dude, it's just like, it's not that big of a deal, but it's $90, then $110, you know, like to get the proper shit. And it's like, oh, shit, I have to grease the machine every time I use it. I need a grease gun now. Do I buy a $20?
That's how you do the instructional one. You better grease this bad boy.
Do I buy a $20 manual pump one, or do I just get a $150 electric one that I already have the batteries for? It's just a lot of shit, you know? So with all that being said, like, I've been doing excavation work since I was 7 years old. So I was like, I know that I'm very efficient at that, and if I'm going to break away into any sort of business, this is going to be the best way to do it, right? So, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, the voluntary struggles, it is so unbelievably stressful. Especially now that I have an 8-month-old.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've got to
get a Nino to provide for.
Yeah, I have to make it. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And when you don't know what that looks like or how it's going to come or if it's going to come, it's like, it's so stressful.
Yeah,
but
especially with the kid too.
Yeah, when like something does prevail and pull through, you're just like, it's really almost like a drug.
Yeah,
like the rush that you get when you're like so down and you have no idea what's gonna happen tomorrow or whatever, and then something does turn around, you're like,
yeah,
it's a crazy breath of fresh air.
It is, for sure.
Yeah,
and I think there is something to be said to be like living and dying on your own effort too, like taking it completely into your own hands. Because like you said, it's like you're working for this other person, but like sometimes work comes, sometimes work doesn't come.
Yeah.
And like you said, like that's actually the easy part, just showing up and doing work. Like doing all the behind the scenes things is why, so many businesses fail and why like, most people don't work for themselves.
Yeah. I know like Warren Buffett and like Jeff Bezos and a lot of big business guys, they always say, it's that cliche thing of, well, they quit month 4, but their success was coming month 5, right?
Yeah.
You just have no idea.
They say that same thing about gamblers.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. 99% of gamblers quit right before they win big.
Yeah. And then when they do win big, then they just keep trying to chase that feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But it's I feel like what I know of you, I feel like you and I have the same kind of outlook, like on finances and like having a hustle and like really pursuing something. And it's although a lot on your psyche, it's like I treat money and like hustling as like a game.
Yeah.
It's almost like playing a game every day.
For sure. It is.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'd rather be playing that game, even though it is super stressful, than the fucking just show up for 8 hours, try to get through the day, be done, fucking blackout over the weekend, try to like not be ready for Monday, and then just start it all over again. Have some fucking guy tell you gotta be here at this time, and like someone be in charge of your time. It's not for me. And like I feel like I'm almost like a little bit bipolar, where I do go through these like highs and lows, and like tying my income to a job that kind of like exasperates that is almost like good for me for some reason, because like it's a similar thing where like everything is completely up to me. Like every day, every beginning of the year, I'm guaranteed zero money. If I can stop showing up to work and no one's going to fucking call me to be there, but the checks will stop rolling in eventually, so I've got to go and make it happen. And there's periods where, there's fucking, there's springs and summers. There's periods where like it's fucking bountiful, shit just happening left and right. And then there's periods where it's like, fuck, my phone just won't ring. And every person I call like doesn't want to fucking talk to me. But but I'd still rather it be that than, I don't know, having something that's set in stone. At least like there's a lot of benefits to it. Like I could see like the budgeting, you just know what's coming through. There's less unsurety, but like the fucking not knowing what's coming next is almost like an exciting part of it.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I've always had this like deep rooted feeling that like all of the shit that I've experienced in my life and all of the hard things that I went through as like a kid, a young adult, and addiction and like lifestyle choices and all that, I've always felt it inside me that I was made to like achieve a little bit more than just anything average. And the plumbing changed my life. Just like what you were speaking about, is because plumbing is commission based too, right?
Yeah.
So
you paid per job.
Yeah. So if I sell an emergency valve, right? Yeah, I'm gonna make money off of that. But you have to find this like beautiful marriage of like how to speak to people, knowing plumbing really well inside and out to the point where you can explain it simply to someone who knows nothing.
Yeah.
And then like doing problem solving, like, okay, this is leaking over here, but your water pressure is super high, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, even when you get to a job, the amount of money that you could make could be this far apart.
Yeah.
Right? Like even
that. Because they don't know what's wrong. It's just like, hey, this shit's leaking. Whatever the reason is.
Yeah. It forces you to, instead of looking like this, okay, let's look at everything around you.
Yeah.
And I would say being in that field for the last 5 years has like really expanded my life. And now to think about going back to like just a normal job where I'm, hourly and I show up at work at the same time and I go home at the same time, like I can't handle that kind of comfort.
Yeah.
And I kind of, in a way, envy people that can.
Yeah.
But like me sitting with idle time and everything's going good, it ties right back into that self-sabotage thing.
Yeah.
Like, comfort and everything is the worst thing that I could ever have.
Yeah.
Because it just starts a downhill spiral.
Makes it too easy to like, all right, we got everything's taken care of.
Yeah.
Just crack a beer.
I know exactly what's happening tomorrow. Yeah. I know what time it's all happening at. So fuck it.
And there is a lot of utility to that. Like I do get it. Like when people, I get it completely of like wanting a salary or wanting like, this is how much money I make per year, because it's just, it takes all the unsurety out of it.
Yeah.
Like not knowing how much money you're going to make every year is fucking super scary.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah. And like what you said earlier too about the communication aspect of it, I think is so important. Like it's one of the reasons I actually started a podcast, is just to continue to try to better my communication skills.
Yeah.
Like communication is everything. It's so much in life.
100%.
It's really interesting. I've said this before, but Terrence McKenna makes the analogy that language is just telepathy. We're able to communicate each other's thoughts. I'm able to think these thoughts and through these mouth noises send my thoughts through the air, and because your internal dictionary matches my internal dictionary, I can say a bunch of weird sounds and you understand exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And so he's like, telepathy exists. The carrier for it is just noise.
That's a really cool perspective.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right? And so like to be able to effectively communicate your thoughts to people is extremely important, because sometimes, especially when I was younger, I would think that something would happen and I wouldn't say anything, and in my head I would just think like, well, they got to know because this is it. It's the truth. They got to just know. But it's really not the case. Unless you fucking speak your mind, usually that shit will just go completely unsaid. They'll never have any clue. It's extremely important that you're able to say what you want. And then I've also I've heard it described like the words, like the content of what you're saying is like I have it like an analogy of like a pen. If I were to like try to get my point across to you and I throw a pen at you, it's going to hit you and you're going to hear it. But if I can say it in a way that's extremely eloquent, in a way that like really gets through what I'm trying to say like perfectly, it's like if I were to attach a fucking spear to that pen and then throw it at you. Like that's the difference. The way you say it like makes the difference of how it hits you.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Especially like I've worked with so many different kinds of people, right? And I had unique opportunities to where I wasn't like a manager, but I was a manager out in the field, so to speak, with plumbers. So a lot of people would ride along with me, and it would be my job to basically evaluate how they do with customers, and then after that, their craftsmanship skills, right? And it's so crazy seeing like how people communicate if they're uncomfortable or haven't done it a lot, you know, and like when you take a step back and you're witnessing the interaction, you can see how turned off the other party is
for sure
about the whole thing, right? So like I I hate considering myself as like a salesman, right? Because I hate the whole sales aspect of it. I like to think of it as education and providing you with a service, right? And I'm constantly trying to improve upon that.
Yeah.
And I make adjustments almost every time I go to a call, right? So like I'll break down a spiel, and then I can just sense barely like what might have turned someone off for a brief moment. Like, okay, how can I polish this? And deliver it like a spear versus just a pen. Right?
Exactly. For sure. Well, you know what? Sales gets like a really bad rap, and I think it's because like so many people will start a sales job, but it's like 90% of salesmen suck. They think that they have to like convince the other person against their will that they need to do this thing so that they can get a commission. And that's not how sales work at all. At the highest level, with the people that are fucking, you know, killers, like there's people in my business that are making NBA money, like fucking 10, 20 million a year or more. You know, that's like, that's something common that's something that exists. These people are extremely smooth. And one thing you realize is that the people you do business with want to do business with you. Otherwise, and that's part of like what prospecting is just finding people who need your service. If you find someone who doesn't need your service, I'm like, okay, thank you, have a nice day. You know, there's no point in me trying to fucking force you to do something you don't want to do. It's about finding someone who needs your service and then giving them an extremely high level of service. And when it's done really well, it's an extremely pleasurable experience for both parties, because you have a goal. I'm going to help you meet that goal. We're both going to get paid. It's like, it's fucking sick. Everyone's happy. Yeah. You know? But like the shitty part happens when it's like, I don't want this. Or maybe it's like car salesmen, I think, are great examples. Because like you'll go and you need a car, but they're going to try to fucking tell you that you need the ship box, or that you need to extend over here, or that they're going to try to like focus on what can you afford per month, so they can just jack up the total price and the interest rate and all these things and really try to fuck you just to like get a commission. Like that's where it really sucks.
Car salesman is like the most common example. But in the service industry, you wouldn't believe like how often that pops up as well, right? Because a few of the plumbing companies that I've worked for also do like HVAC, electrical. They're in other trades too, and they all have technicians that go out, diagnose issues, present options and everything, and it's so hard sometimes because like you can already feel the rejection the minute that the homeowner opens the door. And you're now like, aside from being a educated plumber, right, now you have to be an educated speaker with charisma, and like you're already climbing an obstacle before you get there,
for sure.
And it's like, how you got to find that balance of like, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm going to diagnose your issue, and I'm going to present you with options so that when I leave here, you don't have any other issues. I don't just solve this over here, but I know this is still an issue and it causes a problem somewhere else.
For sure.
And like, it should be as easy as I just explained it, but it's not, right? You have to like, you have to be credible, and you have to present it in a way that they can understand the value of it. And some people just are bound and determined that they're not going to see the value of it.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing too. That's interesting. Like some people have a problem. They don't want to pay this regardless.
Dude, 100%.
You could say $5 and they're going to be like, that's $5 more than I was going to spend today. So it's like, it's almost already like you're fixing a problem they didn't want to have in the first place. So that sucks for sure. That already makes it an uphill battle. And then I'm sure if you discover that it's not a $5 problem, it's a $500 problem, that really fucking sucks. And maybe the people are thinking, well, maybe you just want $500, you know, and you're not here to actually solve my issue.
The guy who trained me in plumbing like breaks everything down so well, and he talks a lot about that. It's like, his main go-to line is, I don't sell parts and I don't sell labor. I provide a service, right? And my analogy I always used was, you can go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac, and you can go to Fleming's and get a steak. Although the hamburger from McDonald's is questionable, right? They essentially come from the same animal. Why is your dinner at Fleming's, going to be $500 and your Big Mac is 12?
Yeah.
Right? It's the way that the building is laid out and how you walk in, the people that greet you, the menus that they have, the way it's decorated. Like it's a whole
completely
thing.
different service.
Yeah, not you get a hamburger in 5 minutes and it serves to you on a plastic tray.
Yeah.
Not the same, right? So like plumbing, any of the other service trades, like there's a reason why the price is what it is, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to figure out how to describe that to someone in a way that makes sense.
And that is interesting too, because you would think that some people get into trades thinking that this is not a communicating job. This is a fucking, I'm just going to work with my hands. That's the type of person I am. I don't have to talk to anyone. And then they get in and they realize they have to fucking convince motherfuckers like what to do to fix them.
Yeah. It's, I struggled with it a little bit. Like when I was an apprentice, just cause like even this still like makes me nervous. And I talk to strangers every day, all day long. I don't know why I still get nervous about it, but there is something to that. That's like, I never met you. I'm coming into your house.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the way you live, which you're already probably uncomfortable about, even if you live perfectly fine.
Yeah, having a stranger in your house.
You're having an issue that you didn't want, and now I'm about to give you a bill that you're probably not looking forward to.
Yeah.
And then those are all things that I have to be thinking about as I talk to them and figure out how to set them up properly, and not like, this is your problem. It's gonna be $2,000.
Yeah. Have you considered, or have you like worked on like commercial buildings and not like not with homeowners, but with like business owners or like property, like commercial property owners?
Yeah, I've done like almost every scenario. Like I've worked for really rich people where I deal with like a caretaker, and I don't
it's not even the homeowner.
Yeah, they have their own card hooked up to the person's bank account with their name on it.
Wow.
So I don't even like. There's been, I don't know, probably 40 or 50 customers in my lifetime that I don't even know who owns the house or anything.
Oh wow!
I just dealt directly with the caretaker.
Assistant or caretaker. Wow, how interesting. Would you say there's a difference in those experiences with versus like the traditional homeowner?
Really, really, really rich people get it. So like I've always said that there's rich people and there's poor rich people, right? And I think that line is like somewhere around the, let's just say 700,000 to like $1.5 million in the bank account kind of people.
Yeah.
I would say 9 out of 10 of those people, the first thing that they do is they move to Cave Creek. They go into a gated community.
Yeah.
They buy a house that's 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. Bro, it's got 4 AC units, 2 or 3 water heaters.
Yeah.
They've got 5 cars in the garage. And the reason that I say that they're poor rich is because, they were able to put all of that up front. But then after all of that stuff is said and done, like they have the same amount of money that you and I do for their bills, like every month, and maybe even less because their debt to income ratio is just so
crazy.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. There's a certain portion of the population that like, they'll live like that, but all 5 cars are financed. They've got a huge mortgage on the house.
Yeah.
They're fucking, like every bill, a dollar that they go to is getting just to pay bills.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, they get so excited about the optic of, like this is how far I've made it in life. But when it comes to maintenance, like, well, that's great that you've done that well for yourself. But I'm like, you tripled the amount of maintenance that you need to do. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
You have to maintain.
They don't even consider that too.
Yeah.
A house is like really not a good investment. It should be something that like you should never overextend on.
Yeah.
It should be like a small portion of like the total cash you got, because it's fucking, for one, it's money tied up, unless you're ready to just move out and sell it on a whim, which most people are not. Like, who the fuck is? It's not an investment. Like, investments are things that you could buy and sell on a whim.
Yeah.
It's a good store of money, and you can be able to put money towards your equity or paying down your mortgage or something instead of paying a rent.
Yeah.
And for that reason, it's good. But in general, if you just made $1 million and you go out and buy an $800,000 house, like, that's not a good job. No. That's not a good investment. No.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many people do that.
A lot of people do.
And that like class of people.
It's crazy too, because it's that, but it does scale up too. Like, there's just some type of people that no matter what, they make 500 grand, they spend 600. They make $1 million, they spend 1.2. Like, that's just the type of people that they are.
Yeah. It's and they are always the ones that give me the hardest time.
Yeah.
And then like I did work for I won't name drop, but an owner of one of the biggest hotel chains in the country.
Really?
And it's such a different level of money.
Yeah.
Paid with a black card, the whole 9 yards. But it's like I explained things to him, and you would think somebody that wealthy would be like even more out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this makes sense. I understand why. Okay, can you explain this part to me again?
Yeah.
Not only wanted to like learn and find out about it, and then when I presented him like what it was going to cost to do everything, it like didn't even bat an eye. Because like he's built something very, very large.
Yeah.
And he understands the value in doing something, you know? And those are like the easiest people to get through to.
Yeah.
But like that $1 million range, like, it's crazy. That I've been rejected more by those people because they're the first ones to think that you're taking advantage of them. And I'm like,
wow.
No, you have the same amount of stuff that normal people do, like going on with your house, except it's multiplied by 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you
and your retired wife bought this 5,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's interesting. The reason I asked about that is because, like, my experience has been the more expensive the property gets, the higher the dollar value, usually the easier it is to deal with people.
100%.
Yeah, like you would think that it's the opposite, and that these really small deals are like easy, and it's not the case at all. Often the smallest deals will be the biggest fucking headache, and the biggest deals will be the fucking smoothest thing, because the higher you go in dollar amount, these are now really educated people. These are people who've been through the process before. They don't need to be held their hand every step of the way.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's it's usually a lot easier to work with.
Yeah, I would say, because like I've been into some crazy ass houses, right? But I would say, like, in your line of work, like, the higher the deal goes up to, like, ironically, the gap between like debt to income is like actually growing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, somebody that's interested in like a $40 million property is honestly probably not even concerned about it. But somebody buying a $5 million property, like, they're going to be strapped for like the next 3 to 5 years.
For sure. Yeah. That is interesting. Yeah. And I mean, everything is important. Like, they're definitely very concerned about the details, but it's really like the difference of, that like that $10 million deal or something is like, everyone understands what they're doing. That $40,000 deal, this is maybe like their life savings that they're trying to put into this, acre in Tonopah or something. And they're really like, they need to be walked through every step of the way. They want to go out there, see every single corner. They want to like think that the property lines need to get marked. That's not the case. Like, only the corners get marked. There's a lot of little stuff, and it's totally fine too. It's like I've like tried to work my business like I started in this area because in like these areas with like a lot smaller purchase prices, because there's less competition in general. So it's a really good way to like cut my teeth, be able to like figure out how to talk to people, like learn, like the deal, and then but yeah, at some point it's like, all right, I'm just fucking it's more tiresome to deal with these really small deals than it is to deal with bigger deals.
Well, and you know what's so funny about that too is people that are like that think that it's in their character, but it's really just the telling signs of them getting in too far over their head, and they're still just trying to carry forward with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you like needing to pay attention to all these minute details is you like trying to defer from the fact that you're stressed.
Maybe shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's so funny what kind of creatures we are. We will give ourselves every telling sign that something is bad and then still walk head first into it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wild.
It is crazy.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah, I would say that's like, that's how my addiction really formed. It's like every red flag popped up. It's like,
nah. We're good. We're good.
We got this.
So how long were you doing, were you on the sauce? Did you start at like a young age or?
No. I mean, I smoked a bunch of weed when I was younger for sure, but like.
Do you still smoke weed now?
Mm-mm.
Totally sober?
Yeah.
Do you drink caffeine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
just caffeine.
Caffeine and nicotine are still very prevalent in my life.
Yeah. You do like Zins or?
No, Copenhagen.
Copenhagen? Oh, wow. The full blown.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I'm not with these pussy fucking Zins.
Yeah. I dabbled in baseball and cowboying when I was younger, so it was just like inevitable.
Yeah, do a little dip and stuff. Huh.
Yeah, but like the real addiction stuff happened in October of when I was 20 years old.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Why that date?
That'd have been in 2015. I remember the first time I ever tried it, and it's still so consciously clear in my mind, and it's so weird that it is that like very vivid.
Wow.
Right? I can retrace the whole day and all the steps leading up to it, and it was such an innocent thing at the time, and I had no idea like what I was going to be in store for.
Really?
After that. Yeah.
Wow. Do you think because of the intensity of the high is why it's so vivid, or maybe this was also like one of those fucking paradigm shifts where it pivoted your direction?
Yeah. Addiction's funny, man. Like what they talk about in rehab is like you relapse and you fall back into addiction long before like the actual inhibitor comes back into your life, right?
Like long before you actually use the drug.
Yeah. You start like making gravitational changes in your life that kind of lead you in that direction, and it's so true because like I was with a group of guys that I know them fairly well, but they weren't like my best group of friends that I spent the most time with. And it was so random. We went out to the bar at a Mexican restaurant. It was like a Thursday, and somebody pulled out the shit, and I was like so uncomfortable. And I think the discomfort is like what kind of like led me to like try it, because like I didn't want to feel awkward and have them think I was uncomfortable. So I just tagged along with it. Fast forwarding from that moment, it came quickly to me like how many people from where I'm from dabbled in it, and like groups of people that I never spent time with, like I was gravitating towards all those people, and I didn't even like realize it, but it's because what they were doing with their lives lined up with what I thought I wanted to do, and I just kept getting farther and farther into it. And if this group of people weren't into it, I'd find the next group that was,
lined up with what you want to do in far as like
partying, drugs, like Friday night we're going out drinking. Okay, well I know this dude's for sure gonna have some shit on him, right? So we're gonna get high as fuck right before we go out, and then I'm gonna get so tweaked out I can't even interact with anybody. It's like, dude, it's wild, just the spiral that happens. Yeah, and then it turned into an every weekend thing, and then now that wasn't enough. Now it's got to be 2-3 days through the week. Now it's every single day. It's like what I put myself through, what I put my family through, like all of that shit, unbelievable. But yeah, that went on from 20 to, I think I went into rehab when I was 26, 27 maybe.
Oh, wow. So like 6 or 7 years of going pretty hard.
Hardcore.
And did you like do it the very first time and then like do it again the next day, or was it like a week later? Or
I would say it was probably like a month.
Oh,
and
really?
then it was like 3 weeks, and then it was only 1 week, and then now it was like 1 week at a time, you know, and then it grew really fast. I would say within like the 8-9 month mark, it became a habitual thing for sure. And so crazy. As vividly as I remember the first time that I ever got surrounded by it, the day that I came out of rehab and like really had consciousness and like my sobriety and everything, it felt that even though it was 6 or 7 years that I had been engulfed in that lifestyle, I felt like it was the day after the time I used for the first time.
Whoa.
It was like life was on pause. I was still living, but this period of time in my life, there was no progression. And then I started life over again.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, very,
you were just like on autopilot during those times.
It was. It was. I made
like
so
lights
many...
were on, but no one was home.
No one was home. They weren't even in town. Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. But
how crazy?
Yeah.
And so, like at the rehab, was it? It's like a 30-day deal, or
I was there for 60
days.
Yeah.
And so, are you detoxing at the beginning of that? Like, is it like you were doing whatever the day before, and then like first day there, is your first day sober?
Yeah, I had been on such a crazy bender, and I actually called up the place and got myself a spot on my own because I figured out that insurance would help me with it.
Oh,
and all
nice.
that good shit. And I got there and like they had me in a detox room, and they
What does that look like? Is that just like a fucking rubber room, or is it kind of nice?
No, where I went was a hotel originally.
Oh,
So,
really?
but the rooms that we were in were like dark, and like it was definitely a
No
lot
window?
different than there was a window, but it was a different feel than the rest of the facility. But it was weird. I didn't have like withdrawals or anything. So the first day I was there, I'm like, what can I do? They're like, you're just, relaxing for a week or two. And I was like, this ain't gonna work for me. So I went down, I found the groundskeeper, and I remember day 2, I was raking the volleyball court and pulling weeds, and they're like, we've never seen anyone detox like this before. And I'm like, I gotta stay busy. I'm already pissed off that my life has led me to here in the first place, but like, I have to be going. Had to be going.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah. And it was cool because like it was my decision. Like I could have been there for 30 days, and then at the 29-day mark, I could have made the decision to stay for 60. Like it was very like loose in that manner. Some people had been there for like 6 months.
Wow.
Part of me wishes I had stayed in there a little bit longer, because like the worst part about it, and I think this same could be said about jail, is you get taken out of normal life, right? And you've been living a certain way for so long, dude. To think that 30, 60, 90 days is going to like reform that.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with people going back to rehab or going back into drugs or addiction or back in the jail is because, okay, they have had 60 days, let's say, of regulated time by somebody where there's not even the possibility of messing up.
Yeah.
And then you just drop them back into society again.
Yeah. You've had 7 years of this pattern.
Yeah.
And then 2 months is just nothing.
Yeah. And then you're just fed back into the world again.
Wow.
Well, it's like, my group of people that I chose to hang out with is partially what led me here. My decisions are what led me here. Well, it's the success rate is so low because you're just
of rehabs.
Yeah,
rehab has a really low success rate.
Yeah, I think the statistics might have changed since then, but I think it was like 1 in 23 people will be successful.
Really? Wow, that's crazy. I have a family member that's been like 5 or 6 times and still like dealing with it.
Yeah, part of my life mission, like with trying to get my business on track and becoming successful, is I've always wanted to open up like a rehabilitation facility.
Really?
And like the biggest motto that I want to have blasted everywhere is "fuck the statistic," right?
Yeah. Okay.
1 out of 23, bro. Like we're talking, almost 25% or whatever.
Yeah. Less than 25%, right? It'd be like less than 5%.
4%. I'm sorry. I was doing calculations in my head. Fried. That's the drugs. But no, it's, like I want that blasted everywhere. And I kind of, like in California, some of the rehabs, all the people I was in there with had been to another facility. And they would like describe.
Was this your first time doing it? Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So you're in that 1 in 23, baby.
Yeah, kind of. I relapsed on the outside. It never went back in, but yeah, it definitely relapsed a bunch after I left there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I had so many people describe to me like what their other experiences were like. There's one in like Central California, like in the Fresno area, that they say the detox is like you're just in a concrete room. Whoa. No bed, no anything. And it's like...
That doesn't help.
Yeah, like what kind of progression are you going to breed out of that situation, right? But that's like a big thing for me, and I saw the transition from rehab life or prison life to like being dropped off in the world again, and so like I've always wanted to figure out how to maybe have like start a bunch of small businesses, let's say, that landscaping, this, that, and the other thing, and help people choose a path and like start to integrate them with a job and like have something steady going on in their life before they even like graduate, if you will, from the program.
That'd be cool. You already have a bunch of employable positions.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like I was in there with a bunch of business owners, right? Big business owners.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought it would be cool to like figure out how to leverage, like if they were in a spot where they had to be there, is like I can take over their business for X amount of time. Yeah. And then help them reintegrate back into an ownership position. Like, wow. Yeah, I have some cool ideas. I don't think it'll happen till, a little bit later on in life when I have more experience, and wisdom. But that's something that like I've always been really passionate about.
Wow, how cool. Yeah. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Wow, hell yeah. Yeah. It is good to have like overarching missions and like overarching goals. Yeah. It's like you need to know your like next step, but you also need to know like fucking the mountain peak that you're aiming to as well.
Yeah, and it's I would say, people say so much like dumbass cliche shit about jiu-jitsu, right? Yeah. And then there's
like jiu-jitsu saved my life.
Yeah.
And you're like jiu-jitsu ruined my life.
Yeah. And then there's the other like side of the coin where guys just are like, I just do this because I like it. Yeah. But I will say the biggest thing that I've learned and taken away and implemented in my own life is like the chase of a submission, right? So many submissions happen organically, if not all of them, in a way that you did not foresee yourself getting to that. Yeah. Right? And like a lot of matches, like I had no idea what I was setting out to do. I had a very small general game plan of what I wanted to implement, but the end result I didn't really have a vision of. Yeah. And it like went there and I got to the same destination that I was hoping for, but my path looked way different than I thought it might. Yeah. And I think the same can be said for life. Yeah. And I've had that pop up. Like, I'll have a really, really hard day, and I'm like, this does not align with what I fucking had in mind this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I sit back, I think about it like, okay, look at it as like we still got 2 minutes left in the round, which in jiu-jitsu terms is a long time.
Yeah.
Right? And we're still going to get there. It's just not shaping up the way that you thought.
Yeah.
But the destination still can be the same.
For sure.
Right? So,
yeah. It's a good way to look at it for sure.
Yeah, it's made me slow down life a lot. Because the more you try at life, like to force things, the more life is just like, go fuck yourself, buddy.
Yeah, you got to let go of control for sure.
Yeah,
especially with like a job where you're just trying to figure out like what happens. You got to be like set on the results, but like totally flexible on the details.
Yeah. It's I've had some really great examples of that happen throughout my life, and I'm able to look back at it because I view life that way now. That like I ended up at a lot of the destinations that I wanted to be at, and I just got there in like a really weird roundabout way, but I still arrived. Right. And I think that's like the most important part of anything that you set out to do. Is just be patient. And Issa is a great example of beating that into me. Like when I first started out, he's like, just relax. What is that he says all the time? It'll age a lot better, right? Like certain way that you make movements and everything, make it to where it ages really well, right? But trying to force or pound shit down people's throats and everything, it's not the way that you're gonna have longevity.
For sure. So, if you could focus on the technique, do it smoothly, then it'll develop smoothly. Tearing my ACL, great example. Bounce back, now I roll way different. Now it's like I just focus on breathing. I would say, like, I don't give two fucks about what I'm going for or what someone else is going for. It's like I just want to get through the rounds. If I can do it without sweating for like 2 or 3 rounds, like now we're getting somewhere because I'm staying calm. That's not happening for me. I get sweaty on the walk to the car.
You're aggressive. Rolling with you is I have to say I have to be in the like right mindset for it. And really? That's not to be disrespectful. That's a compliment because I know it's about to be fucking war for the next 5 minutes. And like, am I mentally prepared for this right now?
Right. Well, I pick and choose who I give that to too. Yeah. Like you're pretty good now too. So I'm honored. I don't give you any space. Circling back to when I was trying to do the paper cutter to you, that felt like murder afterwards. I was he's putting the sauce on me right now. This fucking sucks. I would say like just getting my blue belt in general, it's felt like that for the last 4 months or so. Yeah, for sure.
Man, all of you guys, like anyone that was purple belt and above prior to me getting my blue belt, like it just like you guys clicked another fucking gear. And I'm like, wow, this is real.
Well, part of it too, I think, is like as you progress along in the belts, it's like every progression, the one right below you is trying to earn their fucking confidence on tapping you. And so like the more you get up, it's like everyone's trying to fucking prove how good they are by like what they can do to you. So it is like it does put you on a little bit of a defense where I'm always trying to be on my game. I try to like just like essentially like bully people where it's like I'm not gonna hurt you, you're never gonna be hurt, but like I'm gonna put you in a lot of uncomfortable positions.
Yeah, you're very good at that.
Thanks.
I've rolled at this point with like a lot of different styles of black and brown belts, and your like strongest thing I would say is one, your ability to always keep somebody in an uncomfortable position. Like your ability to like cross face with your shoulder or your forearm, or like you always have me in a position that even if it's not the most dominant, you still make it really uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you're so strategic at that. And I really like I admire that a lot because you're doing that and you're putting a lot of fucking pressure on me at the same time.
Yeah.
And like that whenever I roll with you, I would say that's the one thing I try to like pick apart and try to study.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how can I utilize this?
For sure. I think I've picked up a lot of that from Issa. Like if like Issa's just like if Issa's beating you, he's like it's like you're being run over slowly. It's like a fucking man. What are those machines called where it's like a big giant cylinder that like fucking just crushes things?
Oh, like a compactor?
Yeah, or like a just like it fucking just runs over.
Steamroller or a dozer?
Yeah, like a bulldozer. Yeah, it's like being like bulldozed like at a half a mile an hour. It's like you're stuck underneath and it's just like slow pressure. Yeah, so I do definitely try to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you, I think it was a Thursday night practice, and Thursday night gi with Issa is always like the most entertaining shit because he's so burnt out from the week.
Oh yeah,
and I think he does like 3 or 4 classes that day, so he's like mentally just tired by that point. And he was playing Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he like so effortlessly got my back, and I'm trying to worry about the choking grip, and then he's like figure fouring his legs for the body triangle, and he's sitting there asking me what I think the meaning behind the lyrics but from Red Hot Chili Peppers is, and I'm like, I don't know, like I'm struggling for my life, and he's like not even
thinking about it.
Yeah, I was like, that is like so legit and so demeaning at the same time, but that's how I felt. I was like, this is such a slow, painful death. And I can't stop. There's nothing about it I can stop.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah. That's why it's also important to be like constantly like working on new stuff too. It's like another reason probably I'm having more intense rolls lately is because I've been really trying to work my judo. And there's like you have to kind of get good at it to like take someone down slowly. Yeah. Like when you're first trying it, you got to like enter. There's no like doing it slowly until you figure it out. It's like you gotta kind of get good at it before you can slow it down, and then getting hip tossed. You get hip tossed. There's no way unless I'm like catching you as you're bringing it down. Like sometimes you're being sent.
Yeah. You getting good at all your judo shit has made me good at like keeping my balance with a lot lesser opponents.
Nice.
Because like every time that I roll with you, I think my main goal is like, I know something tricky is coming. Let's try to keep a good base and just see how long we can ward it off for.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a little bit more successful than others, but you go for a fucking ride when you're not expecting it.
Exactly. Yeah. The foot sweeps are also super fun too. When you hit a beautiful foot sweep, it's like fucking chef's kiss.
You're so crisp with it too. It's like, oh man. I just see people out of the corner of my eye all the time, just up, down,
like just turn so horizontal.
Yeah,
and it's all just from a little foot sweep too. And it's like, oh, it's so nice. It feels so good when you hit it.
Yep, yeah. It's I've tried them a lot, like especially with somebody that I know that I have more experience or skill than, and like. It's such a unique timing thing that like I haven't gotten that feeling yet, but I can visualize like what it feels to do some of the moves.
It does take a lot of practice. I would say I've been working my foot sweeps for at least a year now, and I go for them every single time I'm rolling for this entire past year. So I probably have like I'm probably approaching or over 1,000 reps at going for it now. So yeah, it takes a lot of timing. Like it's one of the reasons it's so difficult to drill because the timing has to be perfect or really close to it. And so when your partner is fully aware that it's happening, they kind of fuck up your timing.
Yeah, and then the effort level too, I would imagine, really. Because like for me, doing wrestling takedowns, like even when I was younger and I was wrestling a bunch, doing like slow reps of it was really hard because like when you do it fluid and at a faster pace, like it flows a lot better, right?
Yeah.
So
it's tough when you're not good at it. It's like slowing it down is like it almost makes it more tough.
Really
sometimes.
hard. Yeah, without a doubt,
for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I think the ladies probably have to go outside.
Yeah.
They're waiting around. But dude, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're a great guy.
Like 6 months in the making?
I know it was. Yeah. 4 appointments. 4 canceled workshops.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks, brother.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.